In this video, I'm going to be showing you two methods to solve simultaneous equations, either by elimination or substitution. Let's take a look at this first problem, and we'll solve it using elimination. Now, the word elimination is referring to eliminating one variable so that we can solve just for one variable, and later on use that. Now, this will make a lot more sense later. What we need to do with elimination is add or subtract the two equations that we are given so that one variable, either x or y, will equal 0. Now, in this case, if we add the equations, we would get minus y plus y, which is in fact equal to 0. So, what I will do is I will add the whole equation together. So let me rewrite this. And now I will add the whole two equations together. And that will give me 5x plus 0 is equal to 15. Now that we've gotten rid of one variable, which is the y one, we could solve this as a normal equation. So we divide by 5 on both sides to get x is equal to 3. That's really nice. Now that we have one variable, we can sub this back into one of these two equations. It is up to you which one you'd like to choose. I'm going to choose to plug it into this equation. Oops. So we get 2x minus y is equal to 3. We can sub this into here, so we get 2 times by 3 minus y is equal to 3. Now I will expand this to get 6 minus y is equal to 3. I will put the y on this side to get 6 is equal to 3 plus y, and I will minus 3 from both sides to get 3 is equal to y. So y equals 3. This is the process of using elimination to solve a simultaneous equation by eliminating or canceling out one variable to solve for one or the other variable and using that answer back into the original equation. Now I'm going to walk through the other method of solving simultaneous equations, which is substitution. That means that you will be subbing in one equation into the other. And I will show you how this works. How this works is you will rearrange one equation for it to equal one variable. For example, in this equation, we can rearrange for y. So we can do 2x is equal to 3 plus y, and we can do 2x minus 3 is equal to y. Now, we have isolated y in one equation. We can then use this equation and substitute it into this equation. This will give us 3x plus, and we can make a big bracket here, 2x minus 3, as this whole part is equal to y, as we just found out from the other equation. And that is equal to 12. We can now expand this bracket to get 3x plus 2x minus 3 is equal to 12. Now notice something. We have completely eliminated the y, and we are only left with x terms. So we can solve this just like a normal equation. So we get 5x minus 3 is equal to 12. 5x is equal to 15, and x is equal to 3. Using this solution from our x term, we can sub this back into one of our original equations. So 2x minus y is equal to 3, sub in the 3, and we've previously done this, but I can show you again. 6 minus y is equal to 3, and as we know, 3 is equal to y. That being said, we could have plugged this x answer into this equation right here, as 2x minus 3 is equal to y is the same thing as 2x minus y is equal to 3. And this would give us 2 times by 3 minus 3 is equal to y. That would give us 6 minus 3 is equal to y. And again, we still get the same answer, 3 is equal to y. Let's look at a different problem here. In this case, we have these two equations, and we want to see what method we should use. If we were to do substitution, we'd have to rearrange for one variable. But in this case, I see that you would end up with fractions, right? Because these variables, the y or the x, are not by themselves. So we're going to use elimination. Now, one other thing that I notice is that if I were to add or subtract these equations like usual, it would not cancel out a variable, right? Because 5x minus 3x would give me 2x, and if I were to add these two, it'd give me minus y. So what we have to do is find the lowest common multiple. So what number would I have to multiply by this equation in order to give me the same number as this equation? So I see, if we take these two numbers here, 2y and 3y, I know that the lowest common multiple is 6. So if I multiply this equation by 3 and this equation by 2, it'd give me 6y and minus 6y. So let's try that out. So we'll multiply the first equation by 3 to give me 3 times by 3x plus 2y is equal to 7. And 2 multiplied by 5x minus 3y is equal to 37. Notice that this equals and the answer are also still being multiplied by that factor. That's important because the whole equation is one part. Now we can expand these two equations. So we're going to get 9x plus 6y is equal to 21. This one will give us 10x minus 6y is equal to 74. Okay? Now I notice that we can add these two equations and it will cancel out the y's. So let's do that. That will give us 19x plus 0 is equal to 95. Okay, now we have our simple equation here. And 95 divided by 19 is 5. Okay. Now, once we have this x value, we can just sub that into one of our equations here. So let's sub it into our first one. So we get 3x plus 2y is equal to 7. Then we sub in our 5 here, so 3 times by 5 plus 2y is equal to 7. That gets us 15 plus 2y is equal to 7. And then that gives us 2y is equal to minus 8. And then y, so we do minus 8 divided by 2 is equal to minus 4. All right. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one.